From planet Cybertron comes Optimus Prime's greatest challenge. Megatron, the evil Decepticon leader, crushes Prime with power sound treads. Transforming from battle tank to deadly robot with power arm lasers and lock and load super sound cannon. Megatron can blast Prime into spare parts. Listen to the voice of doom. Transformers Generation 2. Megatron is all you see here. Optimus Prime sold separately.
Coming up, the 3-0 MDLX Transformers Generation 2 Megatron. Stick around. What's up, and welcome to Crossfire Collectibles. Today's video, we have a very special toy here that we actually get to open and review, finally. And this is the 3-0 MDLX Transformers Generation 2 Megatron. Very, very cool. So, this is the MDLX series, so it's a smaller version, not, giant or masterpiece scale. It's, about 7 inches tall, give or take, or 18 centimeters. Overall, this is a figure I've been looking forward to. I wanted something with the classic G2 colors, and I didn't want to go the old route of getting the old 1990s figure. But I figured, are they going to do Legacy series? Man, I'll pass on that. But when they announced this, I was all for it. It is a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, so if you want to get it, follow the link to them, and you look for that. He's $100. And ships pretty fast, I guess. They're available now, so go ahead and get yours if you're interested. So first, let's go ahead and look over the box. Very G2-ish. You have the colors, the logo. It all just looks great. There's a couple new additions. We'll look at the top of the box right here. Transformers, Robots in Disguise, Generation 2, MDLX. The side over here, you get a full shot of Megatron in those classic G2 colors, the green with the purple. Very cool. Look at the bottom. There's your 3-0 hologram. Bunch of languages. This side, more G2-ish box style. Very, very cool. And the back, awesome. So we got back cannon, fusion cannon, Generation 2 style color scheme. Approximately 45 points of articulation, which is amazing. 3-0 figures are absolutely phenomenal at mobility, positioning. The articulation's great. If you don't have any, definitely check them out. If you don't want the larger, DLX size, they have these, which is the MDLX, and they're just as good, just, smaller scale. Megatron Attack. So I don't know if this one actually talks like the original G2 version did, but if so, it's pretty cool. We'll find out when we open it. And here you have a little clip and save bio. So a little file card here. Decepticon Leader Megatron, Function Commander. MDLX Megatron G2 Universe is approximately 7 inches, 18 centimeters tall, with approximately 45 points of articulation and a die-cast metal frame. Accessories include 1 fusion cannon, 1 back cannon, and 4 sets of interchangeable hands. Awesome. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and pop him open. But first, please subscribe to the channel. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pop him open. I'm actually not going to use the blade to open this. I'm going to try to flex that and just peel the tape off to try to salvage the box in case I want to seal it back up. And just like that, got that tape out of the way. Pop that open, fold this some, and slide him out. There he is, the plastic dungeon. There's a few inserts in here. So let's seal this box back up. And we'll stick that off to the side. Not the whole thing, but we get a portion of it in there. So with any typical 3-0 figure, you get your warranty sheet. Just fill that out and send it in. So very cool. And here you have your little instruction manual. So we'll go ahead and pop this open so you can see it. Your basics on it, how to plug the pieces in, different hands. She's got arm movement, waist armor movement. Let's see, hip, leg, foot, and the fusion cannon. It's not a toy, so I don't see anywhere for batteries, so I'm assuming it does not talk and it does not light up, which is kind of a bummer, but you know, it's not a big deal. So we'll put this aside as we don't need it, and we'll go ahead and break him open and start going over the pieces. So, plastic shell, get the first piece off, and I guess we'll get some of this stuff out one by one so we can go over it. Yeah, it's all just going to fall out. We'll go over the figure last, but I want to go ahead and get everything else out. Alright, so I guess we'll go over the hands first. So you have a pair of purple hands. You have this left hand, which is a typical grip hand. Very cool. There's a little socket to be able to, you know, pop on and off if you need it. Very nice paint job on it. You know, all purple. There's a little bit of detail where it looks like some weathering around the edging of it. So that's nice. Here you have a right kind of, you know, open grasp hand, I guess you could say. You know, maybe he's bitching about something. Ugh.
Destroy them!
That's cool. Also has a little weathering detail on the edges as well. You can see a little bit of, you know, silver coming through from underneath the purple. There's some on the inside of his hands, at the joints of the fingers. You know, really nice detail. I love 3-0. They do such an amazing job with them details. Here's another right hand with a pointing finger. You know,
Let the slaughter begin!
you know, something like that. Also a bunch of weathering details on there. Very cool. Nice. At least you have some options, you know. And here is the left hand to match with the other right hand. You know, you could be holding something, you know, carrying somebody. You never know. But awesome. Very cool. Very, 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 very cool. All right, next here you have the back cannon. So you got the just the purple cannon itself. There's down in the barrel. I can't really see any detail. It looks purple as well. Little bit of the weathering around the edge of this, a very little bit, not much at all. And you get back down here to this far end. It's painted all in silver and looks really nice. So there you go. So I figured this would, it said one of these pop in there, so you might be able to use it as like the cannon barrel for the tank. So here you have the far end, you know, all purple, little bit of weathering detail on the edges, of course, you know, the larger edges, not on the smaller. All the way around that you have kind of a gunmetal color around this little fan. This side, you know, that to plug into the other end of the fusion cannon. Set that down, then we'll bring in the main piece right here. This almost looks like a lens over this part here. I don't see any buttons, so you would figure it would light up. I mean, looking at the box, it's showing like yellow, but that is also this end, so not really entirely sure. But if we go and take that back off, we'll show over it in a minute. But here's the piece that connects to his arm. Let me see, slight details around the edges. A little bit on the inner edges, you know, I see a little black in there. Not too much, besides the black clip, you know, that goes on his arm. And I guess we will check out this piece to see if you actually can do something with it. So you could put, you know, the back cannon on like this to make it a bit smaller. I mean, this is what you would do, I would assume, if he was in the tank mode. But as it is 3-0, this will not transform into a tank, which kind of sucks, but, you know, big deal. So that's what you could do for that if you don't want to have just the entire large fusion cannon on there. Put the smaller piece on to act as the top of the tank gun. Then we'll pop that back off. And then we'll bring in the larger end of the fusion cannon right here. Probably put this on top. You can see right here, it's got this kind of pipe almost looking, and there's a larger little dip right there and a smaller there. So that's going to just fit around each side of that on both sides to make sure you have it on proper. This almost looks like a heat or blast shield on this end, which will, you know, kind of just like cover, I guess, any sparks or anything, you know, flying up in his face. So that's pretty cool detail. If we shine that towards a light, let me see, holding this up some to see if I can see it. And then nothing's coming through, so I don't think there's anything special about that, but it's pretty neat regardless. So we'll put that aside, and then we'll go ahead and break out Megatron. So here he is. Little simple piece of plastic on him, not much. So he's just totally ready to be posed up. The box did come with a shipper, by the way. I wanted to show that off. It's nothing special, you know, cardboard 3.0 Megatron. I'm gonna show that real quick before we get into him. And here he is. So very cool, man. Yeah, he's about 7, maybe a little taller. Kind of looks a little bit taller, but maybe he is about 7. And we'll go ahead and look him over. Beautiful paint job. You know, you start with the silver at the top of the head. He's got the purple face, the red eyes. And then he's got this green paint job on him, you know, with the purple kind of camo, you know, running through it. All around, a little bit of orange on his knees. A little bit of a gunmetal gray down on the feet. On the back, a lot of detail, especially around the spinal area and all that. Backs of the arms. Man, this thing is loaded. Bunch of movable pieces. So it's 45 points of articulation, so that's a lot. But let's go ahead and check him out and go into all that. So let's check out his articulation, starting at his head. And as you can see, I can move to the side, that far to this side. It is detached from the neck, so it is a separate piece on a ball joint. The neck is movable, can rotate, and the head can move around a full 360. Very nice, very nice. We'll come over to the arms, and here you have the shoulder piece, which can move in and out pretty good. The arm can come up about that far, bring it back down. It can rotate around a full 360. You see, he does have a bicep swivel, a little squeaky. He does have a double jointed elbow, which is nice and thick. You can expose it to see more of the metal underneath. So that's super cool. Got a nice posability with that as well. Bring it back down some. Now, I'm always, you know, expecting these to open, but of course, being the 3.0, I don't think it will. Here's his hands. So he has on fist hands on the factory version. So you can pop these off, put something else on. They will rotate a full 360, and I don't think they have any type of hinge in there, but pop one off. There you see you have a small ball joint. I am going to leave the right fist hand on, because I am going to put the fusion cannon on and leave that fist underneath. But on the left arm, I'm going to go ahead and pop that off. And I think I'm going to put this kind of grip hand on. So we'll just get that twisted up on there. They're a little tight at first, but you get them on and, you know, it'll work. Move around to, you know, the shoulder, his left shoulder. You can see the G2 Decepticon sigil right there. Pretty cool. Arms look fantastic, man, especially once posed out a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and mess with his ab area. He's got a little bit of ab crunch forward and backward. There is a ball joint inside of here that's made of metal. And then we put him back together. Just wanted to show you that. Waist, he's got a waist swivel. You can actually spin all the way around. Coming down to these little side skirts here, they are fully flexible and movable and on a small ball joint, so they will pop off. You have one on each side. You also have these little front ones. And around the back, he's got 2 at the rear that can also move around pretty well. All right, coming down to the legs. These skirts will probably pop off. They're on by these very, very small ball joints. So we'll go ahead and check them out. Just expect them to probably pop off. Leg can go forward that far, you see, and back that far. Goes out to the side about that far. Come down, he does have that thigh rotation at the top. Moving down, get to the knee, and he does have that double jointed, let me try to move that in, that double jointed knee with this little flap hanging. It doesn't want to go all the way up, but we'll try to get it up as far as we can. Completely up to his back. Again, like the elbows, you know, you can see all the metal inside. You know, one that is bending, so very cool to expose all that. The knee will actually move out a little bit right here. Coming down, you got the foot, and you have this hinge at the toe, so it can go up and down. You have that rocker inside. It's very cool. And that's about it. And these damn things want to keep falling off. So I'd assume, you know, so I'd say once you get him in a position, then worry about putting all your flaps back on, because they do not like to stay on when you're moving them legs around. I know that much. But luckily we're not going to be doing too much with him, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. We'll just go ahead and get all these plugged back in, and then we'll pop on the fusion cannon and get him in a pose. Alright, so you see, I think I'll go ahead and put like this arm back some. Get that hand like that. Head turn. And we'll get this arm pulled up. Turned a bit to the side, something like that. You can see the top of his forearm here have them 2 slots right there. So you want to take your fusion cannon and get them 2 spots lined up. So simply find where they go in at and snap them in, just like that. And there you have your Megatron and fusion cannon, which looks absolutely terrific, amazing. We're gonna go ahead and plug this piece back on to the back part. Flip him around. You find that little spot right here. Simply flip this up and plug it on in, and now he's got his back gun. It's a shame that it can't like kind of move and move forward like the Soundwave can, but it's okay. I mean, you get the basic idea. And then we'll raise that just a little bit so it's more flush with his eye angle, like that. Get his back kind of bent. Rock them feet some, and there he is. So now we're going to go ahead and do some comparisons. So here's the MDLX with the Transformers Generation size Megatron. Here's the MDLX with the MP36 Masterpiece Megatron. And here is the MDLX with the MT01 Monocrat Megatank. Alright, so there were a few comparisons for you. Now we're going to go ahead and throw him on the turntable, and then we will give you some final thoughts.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Be sure to check out our previous videos. A link will always be pinned in the comments.
We now return to the Transformers.
Alright, so here it is. The 3-0 MDLX Transformers Generation 2 Decepticon Leader Megatron. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. As much as I would prefer this in DLX size, MDLX it's just fine. I wouldn't plan on doing too much with him, but displaying him. I've been after a G2 style Megatron for a while. You know, I had the original as a kid, and I never had another one after that. I debated on getting a few different ones, but when I saw that this was coming out, I was like, that's the winner right there, and immediately ordered him, and bam, you know, we got him, and I'm just very, very happy to finally have him in hand, and he looks great. The 45 points of articulation is great. The posability is nice. The only issue I have is probably those small ball joints around the, I guess, the skirts and flaps around his waist. Get him in a pose first if you get him, and then, you know, worry about them popping off, and then just put them all back on when you're done and settled and finished in a pose that you want. I'm happy with this pose right here. I may end up changing that left hand out. You know, it doesn't seem too right just to have like a kind of a grip hand just sitting there doing nothing. I would have preferred that the fusion cannon maybe lit up. I would have liked to have heard that sound, you know, if he actually talked. That'd been nice. But, you know, it is what it is. He's not meant to be a toy. You know, it's more of a display piece, and I'm totally fine with that. He looks great overall, and I'm really happy to have had this. and it just brings back a lot of memories, especially with this box and the art that's on it. And then the colors, that 1990 style Megatron, you know, just popping out at you. It looks absolutely phenomenal. But I think that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. If you did, please, like always, leave that giant thumbs up, subscribe, and tickle that bell so you're notified when we post future videos. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.